Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you once again for joining us on another episode of Foreign Investment Fridays. My name is Hector Aguilar. I'm your host with eXp Realty. Today, we're actually going into session two, or part B, of what we talked about a couple weeks ago in terms of an alternative to investing in real estate at the very truest form, investing in real estate on the ground. Today, we have with us Alan Romero from Forest to Fortune and our colleague Santiago Aguilar as well. What we want to talk about today is what we talked about 2 weeks ago was what Forest to Fortune does and the opportunity to invest in real estate and invest in trees. So we talked about that. If you haven't seen that, I would recommend that you go to our YouTube channel, take a look at it, watch it, maybe subscribe and like it and share it with those that maybe are thinking about investing in foreign real estate. It's an awesome alternative to real estate investments abroad, and it's a very safe and profitable investment forum. So what we're going to talk about today is a little bit different. It's the next step of that first video, which is the tree buying process. How do we go about buying trees? So with no further ado, Alan, welcome once again to our channel. Once again, this is Foreign Investment Fridays, and I'm Hector Aguilar. I'm your host. And today we're going to spend some time with Alan and Santiago talking about the tree buying process. So Alan, thanks for making the time to be with us today again. I'm excited about learning more about the tree buying process so that our viewers and our investors have an opportunity to decide if tree investing is for them as well. Take it away, Alan.
Yes, Hector, thank you. Thanks to EXP and thank you to Santiago with ITA Global for giving us the opportunity. I would say investing in tropical hardwood and in agricultural land has never been easier and safer thanks to technology.
Right.
Our forests, there are a couple of ways that you can invest in them. Our forests, you can invest in trees that we've planted. You can also invest in agricultural land and trees that we have available. If you would share the presentation, the other thing that I would say as well is our projects are monitored through satellite by third parties.
Okay.
We can also, I can also go ahead and share that. Maybe we can do that. Let me see here. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would
Yeah.
be important for investors to maybe understand a couple of things, right? Number one is how do they purchase trees? What's the process of buying trees? What are the steps? But also, it would be important to help them feel secure in their investment, right? So I think that's what you're talking about, the technology that's available to investors that will monitor and manage, right? Monitor and manage these investments in these rich trees that are, or tree farms. You could say they're tree farms, right? That are currently being developed in the countries that you're working with. So absolutely, let's share that technology.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So I'm trying to share my screen, Hector.
okay, go ahead and share your screen.
Let's see if that's working. Give me one. Let's see. So present, share screen. There we go. There we go. There we go. Is that?
Perfect.
Can you
So
see
there
that?
you are.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. So Restore Eco is one of two third-party platforms. This particular platform is out of Switzerland, and you can find us on restore.eco, and you can look for us as Forest to Fortune, as you can see there. Here you can see our trees. So these are our trees, as you can see. Here we have
Nice.
also examples of what we call our proofs of concept. There is our forester Javier. As you can see there, the leaves and the plants where we grow our trees are giant. They're very much Jurassic Parkish. There's another one of our trees behind it, some more trees, as you can see there. We have some rows in the back. We grow our trees like growing grapes in a vineyard. There are both of our foresters, Jose Carrera and Javier Esquivel. Um, this is almost like raising uh, racehorses. As you can tell, they're very proud of their trees, of our
Hmm.
trees. The map that you see there with those dots, S1, S2, S3, and so on,
Hmm.
that is from a different platform, but our forests are also on the blockchain. So not only are we being monitored through satellites, but the blockchain technology allows us to upload data and for the data to be immutable. Again, this is how trees are sized up. We don't sell once the tree matures. What we sell is the lumber. The ladies there that you see are from the Guatemalan government in this case. And again, the reason why we grow in Guatemala is because our foresters have been there for 30 years or more. They've been part of a UN project known as the Mayan Biosphere Reserve. And the
Fantastic.
ladies there from the Guatemalan government are registering our trees as a voluntary reforestation, which means that even though that they are protected species, we can use them in commerce. This particular site, Restore, validates the information of who we are, what we're doing, the species that we are protecting in terms of plant species. Here
That
you
was
have
pretty thorough. I like it.
different plant species. Yes, this is data that is internationally and globally recognized. We could load more, but essentially, what we are housing is plant species, about 3,400 plant species, about 19 amphibians, 114 mammals, and 325 bird species.
Wow.
So there's a lot of good data here. So that's one of the sites. Let me.
So it sounds like this allows you to see that your investment in trees is not only in the forestry part of the tree, but also in the ecological part of the reforestation, right? You're impacting the local community, you're impacting the local fauna, if you will, and it's awesome. You're not just growing a tree, but you're also impacting the environment in a positive way, right? We're talking about many of us as consumers and investors have heard that the rainforest is being depleted, that deforestation is a primary cause of so many global issues, specifically global warming. And it's great to see that this particular program is actually impacting in a very positive manner in reforestation and impacting the environment and also helping the global environment as well. That's exciting.
Very much, Hector. And before I mention our discovery tour, I'll say another part that we show here to the right is the the square in yellow is our site. It's 45 hectares total. And then if you can see here, the cooperativa, which is a village
Hmm.
where only Quiche, which is the Mayan native language, is spoken, Cooperativa con Coma, the size of the village that
Hmm.
we support and that supports us is about the size of the project.
Wow.
So we very much are in a very remote part of Guatemala. And to the north of us is Tikal, over here where it says Reserva de la Biosfera Maya.
Okay.
Um, let me show you something else here. Um, let's see. So, one of the things that I wanted to touch upon, Hector, is that we are being monitored by a couple of different sites that are independent, third party, and that is what gives what we do validity and visibility.
Fantastic.
Um, and if you
Yeah.
want, we can continue. Oh, so one of the things that I wanted to mention regarding why we have Santiago here with us is because Santiago organizes our discovery tour. And maybe he can talk a little bit about it. Santiago is from Central America. Santiago and I know each other for 20 years now. And he got into the world of exclusivity, luxury, and travel around the world. But Santiago is also an investor in our trees, and he has designed an experience for our tree owners so they can visit and experience what it is that we have firsthand. Why don't you talk a little bit about that, Santi?
Yeah, thank you very much, Hector, for having us. One of the biggest things that inspire us to create the impact investment tour in Guatemala is because when we first saw it, we noticed that it had a social, it had an ecological, and it had a financial impact. Like Alain said, I've seen firsthand the amount of people that get impacted by this type of project because the trees get first they get planted, then you have to groom them, and then you have to maintain them for the length of the tree. Right, could be 12 to 18 years. So during the entire process, the impact investment opportunities is really impacting the families that surround the area, right? And in exchange, in addition to what we just saw, the amount of the animals that live within that area, and foremost important is like we're taking away for people to illegally cut trees from the actual rainforest, where now they can cut it from an actual cultivated, farm, to put it into perspective. A tree farm. That is exactly what it is. So, but when we do the impact investment tour, we take away the worries from investors. We allow them we pretty much set up the dates. It's usually a 5-day, 4-night experience. We manage all their experience upon arrival to Guatemala. We pick them up from the airport. We put them in the hotel. We provide breakfast, lunch, dinner, transportations, and they can meet the experts. They can meet the community, and they can get involved, and they can actually go and see the actual project themselves. So it's a very insightful trip that allows you to see firsthand where your money is actually going. And that's that's one of the biggest reasons that we really participate with this. But not only that, it's also a beautiful part of Guatemala. And nearby we have Tikal, which is one of the most impressive archaeological sites you'll ever see in Central America. So we give people that opportunity to also visit Tikal, because we're very near. The site is very near. It's very close to Tikal. And is one of the biggest things that impacts me when I'm there is that as you're in the driving through all these areas, you see all this Mayan archaeological sites. It's like, you see them everywhere, right, Alain?
It's impressive, I'm sure.
No, but you see them, but they're just there. People are just used to that. They're just like, oh yeah, that could have been a pyramid, but it's part of the ecosystem now.
Wow.
So it's very interesting.
Yes.
So you get to see all of that.
I can imagine that most investors that are thinking about maybe investing will enjoy a discovery trip, because the truth is maybe they don't know Guatemala. Maybe most investors want to see, feel, and touch what they're going to be investing in. It's a great way to discover not only the tree farms and the actual product that you're investing in, but also get an opportunity to learn more about the culture and the positive impact that your investment is going to make to the local communities as well. So that's awesome.
That is correct.
Yes. Yeah. And one of the things that we always wanted to do was give anyone the opportunity to participate in projects like this. Typically, for investing in forest, there's nothing new about investing in forests. What is new is that thanks to the technology, the way we cultivate, the way we manage, and the way we invest in these types of alternative investments is now possible. I would say, very much like you said, this is a real estate play. Ultimately, you're taking farmland and you are growing tropical hardwood species that are highly valuable, that serve real estate ultimately, because in today's world, in the United States, we already build a lot with timber. But in the future, you will see, and in the present, you will see, like if you go to Caltech, you'll see now buildings being built from timber. So timber is replacing concrete and steel, and these type of species serve for high-end finishes, beautiful finishes, not only for homes and buildings, but also for yachts and high-end vehicles and things of that nature.
Right.
So it's a luxury good. This is not a commodity like a pine tree. And today, what we wanted to go over is the buying process, how easy it is to participate and own one of these species, Hector. So if you could turn the page. The
Well,
tree purchase
before we get
process.
started, Ellen, I wanted to see if maybe you could expand a little bit on actually forest investment, right? You mentioned that it's something that has been going on for a long time, and because of
Yes.
technology, it's made it now easier to manage, to control, to to be able to manage really these forest trees farms. So tell us a little bit about how long this has been at play, because maybe to some this might be new, but insurance companies, financial institutions have been known to invest in these forest farms for many years, and it's a safe investment.
Yes. Well, the furniture that we own, the floors that we walk on, the hardwood floors that we walk on, the furniture that we sit on, um, the frames, the framing that is part of our houses,
Hmm.
um, the wood that we see in the high end finishes of certain cars. Um, the beautiful doors that we see in certain homes,
Hmm.
all of that comes from an industry of timber, and
Right.
it's a growing industry, as you know. We want to start getting away from non-renewables, from petroleum-based products that are harming us, that are harming the environment, and so the big trend is to move into renewable resources. And when we talk about renewable resources, there is nothing more renewable and regenerative than trees. In particular, go ahead, Hector.
So I have a quick question, right? You mentioned earlier that these trees are not your typical pine trees. You're not your typical trees that you use for building and construction, but they're more specialty trees that you could find in high quality furniture, high quality finishes in yachts and luxury cars, things of that nature. But what I did want to mention is, how many of us remember during the pandemic when wood materials at Home Depot almost quadrupled or 5x in cost because of the demand that there was? One and two is because of the lack of actual inventory that was available in wood. And we
Mhm.
still see that today at Home Depot and Lowe's and many of the lumber yards that people will go and get lumber. There's a huge demand for wood. Now, again, these type of woods may not be necessarily set aside for your 2x4s or your normal wood, but these are specialty woods, and even in the specialty industry, there's a high demand. So
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
we can see, or I can see, that this investment is a very profitable investment that's going to be in need for many years to come.
Very, very much so. And we invite our listeners to do their homework. You can go to Ganal Lumber, and you can go where they store their timber, and you can ask for the species that we grow. We grow mahogany, Spanish cedar, and Spanish rosewood. You can ask and see how much the prices go for, what their availability is, what their demand is. Go and talk to the people at your local lumber store, and do a little bit of research, do a little bit of research online, and you will see how valuable the supply demand dynamics for these types of rare um, tropical hardwoods, which are highly desirable because of their grain, because of their durability, because of their ease in maintenance, are highly demanded, and they are protected by the federal government. These species grow abundantly in the tropics, Hector. So it's not something that we can grow in our backyard. We could
Hmm.
certainly grow it, but it would probably take 60, 70 years for them to mature.
Wow.
In the tropics, we grow. It's like let's say avocados. Avocados, they come from Mexico because of the soil and the temperature and
The
the
moisture, the region, it has a
Pacific.
lot to do with it. Absolutely.
That's right. So, in the regions where these tropical hardwoods grow best, they are protected by the federal government. You can't just cut a natural tree and
Mhm.
imported into the U.S. because it's illegal. So that protects us, and that protects the species, and that creates a supply constraint. And there is voracious demand around the world for these types of products, Hector. So thank you
That's
for bringing that
fantastic.
up.
That's fantastic to know. I know there's going to be demand. So let's jump right in. Let's dive into the actual tree purchase process. Go ahead and talk to us about the process. I know we're going to go about maybe 7 or 8 different slides that we're going to see. And I think most investors are going to want to know and understand how the tree purchase process works.
Yes. So we can go and change the page. So if you can play that and see if we can hear it, Hector. If not, I can play it on my screen. But click on the Instagram there.
I'm not sure if you can see it, hear it or not.
We can see it, but we can't hear it. So maybe do you think if I show it if I share my screen, maybe let me try to share the screen.
All right.
Okay.
That requires me to stop sharing my screen, but go ahead.
No. Remember earlier I shared with you? Okay. Let's see.
What I'll do is I'll put the link here if you'd like to watch.
Perfect.
Yeah, actually, what we could do probably best is share the link with folks.
Yep, I'm sharing it.
That will work.
We're sharing it right now in our chat box. So if folks want to see that Instagram reel, they can definitely click on the link at a future time and go ahead and take a look at that.
Excellent. And so we have more of those videos that on our IG, which is at Forests to Fortune IG, and we also have a YouTube channel, Forests to Fortune. But Hector, if we could resume the presentation, we'll get on with the program.
You got it. Let me go ahead and get that going again. Let me share my screen here real quick. Thanks for your patience, everyone. It takes a little bit of a process here. And then we will see if we can get this back on really quick.
No, I'm sure everyone is very, very excited and interested in our topic.
Oh, for sure. I absolutely agree.
How many people do you know that offer the investments in tropical hardwood cultivation?
Not very many. I think for sure we are a unique company. This is a unique opportunity. So, I think it's something that most real estate investors, aside from wanting to invest in real estate, can also invest in forest, reforestation and high quality trees.
Very good, Hector. So next, okay, very good. So the first thing which we have already touched on is the value. So before you place an order, yes, because by that time you understand the value of what you are investing in, what you're participating in.
Right.
And with us, you can begin by investing in a single tree. We have about close to 16,000 trees already on the ground.
Fantastic.
Our trees are 5 to 6 year olds. So you already have a head start when you participate. The price of the tree is $450. Half of that goes to the tree, and the other half goes to the management of the tree through maturity. So let's say our 6-year-old trees would roughly take about 10 years to start maturing.
Okay.
So if you buy into one of our 6-year-old trees, roughly in 10 years, your trees would begin to mature. So 10, 11, and 12 years would take for your trees to mature. So let's talk a little bit about the dynamics of how that works. The trees grow in volume. Remember, as we were saying, we don't sell logs. Once the tree is mature, what we do is we take an order directly from the end user, the manufacturer, and we cut the tree to specification.
Fantastic.
And then we put it on a container and we ship it to whoever the end user, end buyer is. And so that's how we are able to fetch significant amount of money for our lumber. Let's say Ganal Lumber was to say, well, Alan, we need you to cut to these specifications because this is how we sell it to our clients here in California. So that's how we would cut it and we would ship it to them. The tree grows in volume, but the board foot, which is what we sell the volume,
Right.
also increases in price. So if you take a look at the definition of exponential returns, when you invest in tropical hardwood trees, that is the textbook definition of exponential returns, which is when two variables are growing and multiply together, give you an exponential return. So that is how and why these species are valuable. And once you've determined that you want to participate with us, you have two options. You can either buy existing trees or you can buy land and trees. In order to participate in land and trees, the minimum investment is $50,000. If you want to participate in trees, the minimum investment is $450 per tree.
Not a bad entry point, honestly, per tree.
Yeah, when you invest $50,000, you get roughly about an acre, and you get 165 trees.
Fantastic.
Okay. If you were to invest $50,000 in the trees that we have planted right now, in 10 years, you can multiply that by 8. So you would basically have 50,000 times 8, 400,000. So if you invest 50,000 in 8 years, you would roughly have 400,000, Hector. That's
an amazing return.
It's amazing return, and it has to do with a number of things. Exponential returns, which I've already explained how that works. The supply-demand dynamics, which is voracious demand, limited supply. You can't just go out into the forest and cut one of these trees. And so that limited supply. When you are ready to place an order, you would simply call Hector and you would say, Hector, I am ready to invest. Let's take a call with Alain. I want to get going with my order. Or they say, you know what, Hector, I want to buy 10 trees. Then Hector would say, okay, give me your name and your email. So that's all we need in order to initiate the order. Okay.
Great.
And then we can turn to the next page and we'll show you how the process of assigning ownership goes. If you can play that video, I will be the voice behind the video because
the voiceover.
I'll be the voiceover.
All right, I've got it playing. There it goes.
Yeah. So this is our marketplace. So in our marketplace, as you can see, we have tree owners, documents, onboarding, and other things. We right now are on the onboarding. So all we need is a name and an email address. And what that does is it generates the paperwork. The system matches our inventory of trees with the paperwork.
Awesome. Pretty simple. I mean, technology makes it so easy.
So there we go. We have 4 sectors. We select a sector. We click accept. There you have anything in blue are trees that have owners. And as you can see there, it has no owner. So we begin to select 1, 2, 3, 4. The values of the trees say $1,300. That's because these trees are already 6 years old. However, we currently are selling our trees for $450.
Okay.
We want to gain traction on the citizen participation model.
Yeah.
There we go.
So right now, you could purchase a $1,300 tree at a discount.
That's right.
Yeah, and one of the things that I want to...
Go ahead, Santiago.
Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say that
into equity already. You're buying into equity already. Almost
you're
times.
Yeah, you're buying into equity. One of the things that the Force to Fortune has done, which is pretty cool to see. I've seen the evolution, and one of the things that people have asked some of the investors, like, can I just buy? What if I want to buy once a month, or what if I want to buy once a quarter? So the system allows you to put you on a monthly billing pretty much, and you can buy trees every month. You can buy trees every quarter, twice a year, once a year, or you can buy bulk. So you have that flexibility,
Right.
Or you can simply say, hey, I would like to buy once a year X amount of trees. So the system is so automated. And most importantly, you can log into your platform and you can see your trees, your numbers, the code of each tree, the age of the tree, and the value of the tree. But like you said, you're currently buying with equity already at this point.
In this particular case, you are, because we saw the numbers. They're currently valued at 1,300, and you're buying them at 450.
Correct.
I mean, that's an amazing value in itself. So
Correct.
definitely buying early could help you not only gain a larger return, but you're also getting a lot of equity built into your purchase to start.
Correct.
Yes, Hector. So in the same way that we are doing this presentation with you, the company is busy at the same time we go to summits where we meet with wealth managers. And so we are busy selling forests. Here on the citizen participation side of things, where people can eventually own a forest, literally one tree at a time or a group of trees at a time. And that is the novelty. After I complete the process of assigning the trees to the individual, a bill of sale, it's like a title of the tree, and a management agreement are generated by the system, and they are emailed to the buyer. And then that's where the buyer fills in all of the details. We want to get to know who is owning the tree, because we're going to have an intimate 10-year relationship with that owner. And so we want to know, where their address, who they want to assign some trees to. In many cases, people want to will trees to their kids. So there's a number of things behind this. But essentially, there are two documents that are generated. The bill of sale, which is the title of the tree, each tree. So we plant our trees like a checkerboard. And so each square is one tree, and each square and each tree have an inventory number. So that's how your trees are identified. And then the management agreement is for the productive life of the tree. So when the tree is mature, we are responsible for finding the buyer. We call you, we say, hey, we have a buyer. This is how much we can sell your lumber for. You approve it, and we go ahead and we conduct the transaction. And if you could change the screen for me, please. We guarantee our trees for health, so we ensure your tree thrives with proper care and growth. So essentially, anything happens to your tree, we will replace it.
Okay. So there's a guarantee. There's a healthy growth guarantee and a replacement guarantee in the event that tree doesn't grow. So
that's right.
In a sense, you're guaranteeing the investment.
Health and growth is what we guarantee, because ultimately, again, the value in these trees is in the volume. So you want a healthy, hardy tree.
Wonderful. Let's go to the next.
That is true.
Next, land ownership options. So as I was telling you, an acre. Over there we deal in hectares. An acre of land, $50,000 an acre of land, and 165 trees. And that would yield you starting within 10 years, 10, 11, and 12 years, you would see the money come in roughly to the tune of about 400,000. So it's an 8x return.
Wow. That's
and
awesome.
it's not difficult to think about. I mean, you're investing in a tree that when it's skinny, and by the time it grows, it fattens up, right? And the price is also increasing in value. So it's a combination of growth,
tree growth, and demand on price.
And price.
Demand,
that's
correct.
what causes things.
Awesome.
Complete the process. So once you have reviewed your agreements and digitally signed them electronically, again, at that point, the trees have already been assigned to the agreement. You can finalize your purchase by paying. We do Zelle. We prefer Zelle for lower amounts, and then we do ACH as well as wire.
Okay.
And at that point, once you've completed with the payment, you're the proud owner of
A new tree.
trees. Actually, you can own a good part of a forest.
Yeah, either your land if you want to choose to buy land, or a number of trees depending on how many you want to invest in.
Correct.
That's correct, Hector. And
Awesome.
let's see if we have other slides.
So it looks like land ownership. We talked a little bit about that you could, invest $50,000 to purchase roughly an acre. That comes with about 165 trees. So you would be multiplying your return by 8x in a matter of 10 or 12 years. That investment of 50,000, we talked about it, can become a return of upwards of $400,000. That also includes the the demand on pricing for those specialty trees.
Yes, Hector. Thank you for that. If you allow me to share my screen, I will go ahead and share something else with our audience here. I'm going to share okay, there we go.
There you go.
All right. This is a third-party platform, another third-party technology that monitors our efforts.
Okay.
As you can see, they are monitoring forests globally. Okay, forest initiatives. There are 211 projects. Most of them are reforestation projects. In other words, most of them are initiatives to create tree reserves. In our case, we are reforestation, but we are cultivating high-grade tropical hardwood for the world's sophisticated uses. And here you can go into Open Forest Protocol and you can look for our project.
Nice.
There we go. There is our project. Again, this is all via satellite.
Mm-hmm.
And the area that you see there is on the blockchain. And again, there you see Concoma.
And that area was, if I remember correctly, you said it was about 43 hectares, which translates to how many acres? Was it at 2.5 acres per hectare?
That's somewhere right.
That's about right. So the total, our total area is 45 hectares. And the reforestation project is 30 hectares.
Okay, so the reforestation project would be approximately in hectares, or in acres, pardon me, would be about 75 acres of land that's being reforested. Now, at some point,
that has been reforested, and on it we have, in this part, we have 10,000 trees, and then adjacent to that, we have another 6,000 trees available.
I see. Now, at some point, are those trees already growing right now? Is that particular land saturated in terms of the acreage? And if so, are there other parcels of land within the region that are available to continue planting additional trees and investments?
That's an excellent question, Hector. Actually, we are also looking for investors to acquire this adjacent parcel here.
Okay.
Because we would be able to expand. And in this region of Guatemala, we have other farms that we own. So that is why we are excited to sell, not only to share our trees with your clients, but also the possibility of land as well as tree ownership.
I see.
You get a fire alarm
going on where you're at. Are you okay? Is there a fire? I see there's like an eviction or like a notification alarm or something.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to be evicted here, but fortunately, we're also almost done with our time here for the presentation.
Fantastic. Well, I want you to be safe. I don't want you to, I want you out of harm's way. So let's wrap this up. There was a lot that was shared. The process of purchasing a tree, some of the technology that's available to support and monitor the growth and monitor the trees that you invest in. Certainly, I was surprised to see the two different platforms. And I'm excited about the opportunity of bringing this investment opportunity not only to our clients, but also to the circle of other investors, real estate investors that are not only thinking about buying in homes or multifamily, but also can invest and actually have a positive impact to the environment as well. So
Correct.
lots of things to consider. If you guys are definitely interested in looking forward to maybe investing in some trees, but you're kind of on the fence, remember there's also a discovery trip that Santiago from ITA Global has put together for you, that not only includes visiting the property or visiting the land and understanding what you're investing in, but also has an opportunity for you to discover a little bit more cultural stuff of Guatemala. So let's wrap it up quick because I know Alan has to get out of the building. We want to thank Alan again for his time and for going through the steps of buying a tree process. If you guys are interested, please feel free to reach out to me. You're more than welcome to reach out to me either via text or email. It's been certainly a pleasure to continue to provide you opportunities to be able to invest not only here in the United States, but also abroad, whether it be real estate, whether it be a vacational property, or if you're looking to build an investment portfolio. Once again, I'm Hector Aguilar, and this has been Foreign Investment Fridays. Alan, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aline.
And Santiago, thank you again for being on with us today.
Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you soon.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.